Go ahead. You can start, Adam.
Hi, I'm Adam.
I'm Chelsea. Oh.
Sure.
Go ahead. Okay, sorry. I'm Chelsea.
I'm Tomkin. This is Teen Camp. It is indeed. That's Amanda. That's Amanda.
Hi, Amanda.
And I'm Josh with Soundscapers drumming. And I was brought in these last 2 days to provide some nice drumming workshop, drum circle experience, and a nice sound bath, sound meditation for the kids here at the Episcopal Conference Center here in Pascoag, Rhode Island. So now we have some of the wonderful kids here right now. They're just going to share some words about what they experienced with the drumming and the sound meditation. And take it away, guys.
I think the first thing about the drum circle was how powerful it was. Just to see like how someone with no drumming experience, someone who might not have even seen a drum before in their life, just sounds ridiculous, can just pick it up and play, and it can sound good, and especially in a group setting. I really like that.
Yeah, it was really great. The drum circle was awesome. For me, I think the best part of the entire thing was the order. We started out in a drum circle, kind of making a lot of noise. You know, it was really powerful. It was a really good time. And then we took ourselves into a little bit of a quieter space in the Tower of Silence in the back. And what was the name of it again? The sound bath?
Sound bath healing.
Sound bath healing. Wow, what an experience. It was incredible. We have all these different instruments, and everyone just kind of settles down, and which is a rare thing for a summer camp, having everyone settle down at once.
Fact.
So everyone settled down and kind of laid out and just, listened to the music, and it took you to another place. I felt like I was sleeping, but I wasn't sleeping. Like, I didn't fall asleep, and I know I didn't because I heard everything, and it just brought you to another level of yourself. And then when it brought you back, you were just like, wow, that whole experience was just so wonderful, and I just feel so refreshed because you get all your energy out and all your aggression out, and then you go and relax, and you can be at peace with yourself and with all the people around you. It was awesome.
I just found it so amazing how, like you were saying, with how you felt like you're sleeping but you're not quite. It's just amazing how you can just sort of retreat into yourself for a couple minutes and just completely shut out, not quite shut out the world, but just live within your own mind and body and just be so at peace. It was the most amazing thing.
At the very beginning, when we first started it, I remember hearing sounds outside of the music, not people talking or anything, just the wind outside or a car driving by or someone sneezing, and by a couple minutes in, I didn't hear anything but the music and my own thoughts, and I thought that was really cool because it is rare in just being kids in high school and kids in college and at a summer camp and working and running around doing a ton of things that you get to have that experience with yourself. You kind of forget to do that, so to be able to completely just delve into your own self and chill was awesome.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's incredibly difficult to calm myself down. My mind is always racing, so the fact that when the sound bath was really got going, my breathing slowed down, and I was able to just fully conscious, but at the same time completely calm, and no thoughts, just noise. That meant a lot, and that was really powerful for me. I'm still kind of chill right now. It's nice.
It's that kind of thing that really makes you, or made me appreciate the moment that you're in, because you go and you sit and you do a really awesome drum circle and you're having a good time, but you kind of, especially when you work here all summer like we do, you take those little things for granted, how much fun those are, and then you do something so calming and so wonderful in a community with the same people, and then when you sit up and come out of your self for a second and you look around, you're just like, wow, this is a pretty special thing we all just did together, and I really am going to appreciate this moment for what it is and be able to appreciate these people for who they are right now. That's awesome.
I remember, well, I want to say waking up, but that's not quite the right term, but I'm going to use it anyways. But waking up from the sound bath, everything just felt so new and just fresh, and it was, me and Janelle were actually having a hard time talking, which is weird. We just forgot how to speak because it was just, we were just so relaxed and completely and just in a neutral zone.
Yeah.
Nice.
So thank you.
Thank
No,
you so
thank
much.
you guys, and it was a cool time. I was able to be brought in here during the Teen Spirit Conference yesterday and today, and be able to share two really good experiences with you guys. And I mean, first with the drum circle, we pretty much got down with our bad selves and hooting and hollering and drumming and dancing and screaming and getting crazy. And I bet you guys don't doubt that you're able to drum now, huh?
No, not at all.
Yeah, so they had a fun time, the whole group, and then we go from getting crazy with the drumming and getting outrageous and having fun and the high energy, and then we just went a little ways behind us to this place called a Silent Tower, where did a little mini sound bath session with the kids and showed them a different side of how sound and vibration can be used to be relaxing and healing, and all of our negativity could just be taken away, you know? So just a couple questions I have for you guys. So how did what I just present work into the theme of this week's camp, do you think?
Well, the theme of the summer in particular is share your gifts. And there are two ways that this is really, really well incorporated into the summer theme. One is we've never done anything like this at camp before. I've been going here since I was born. My mom went here, my grandparents went here, and I can't remember anybody telling me anything like this that we've done. So it's like a really awesome and cool experience for us to find something new. A lot of things get really repetitive at camp, especially for counselors, because we do it, 7 weeks in a row. So to have somebody come in and share their gifts, especially someone, you were saying how you were 20 when you started, and a lot of us are in our older teens are 20 ourselves, and it's like, wow, that's so cool. I still have gifts to share, and I can find them still. So that was really cool. And also, like, going into yourself and just like relaxing makes you kind of reflect on who you are and what you have to bring to the table, and then you sit up and feel such a part of this community and are ready to accept the gifts of others, as well as really feel comfortable sharing yours. So.
Nice. So probably, what would you say as a whole was the biggest thing you guys gained from the drumming and then the sound bath?
With the drumming, I gained like a real sense of just letting go, and that was important too, because I know my personality. I tend to hold things on like deep inside me. I mean, I was able to just kind of release all that energy, and then with the sound bath, I was able to recollect myself and anything else that I still had residing inside of me that I didn't like or I was subconscious about. I was able to just be like, it's okay, and literally could feel it leaving my body, my spirit, you could say. It was nice.
But in the end, was it fun?
So fun.
Absolutely.
You guys had a good time?
Absolutely.
So much fun.
I think this should be a weekly thing.
I was thinking the same thing. Like, we really need to
So-
do this a lot.
The moral of the story here is just when it comes to music and creating in the moment as a group, it's not about right or wrong with your technique or style or how much training or how much knowledge you have or how many tests you've taken. It's about just being able to let go in the moment, be yourself, and not worry about what others think or what they may say about it when you're creating something from nothing, coming from here, not being stuck in here. And that's what we did with the drum circle. We had a fantastic time. And then with the meditation, it's just about being open enough to go a little bit further inside yourself, to confront whatever negativity you might still be holding on to, and just finally say, you know what, I don't need this. I don't need you controlling me anymore. Away with you. How about you? Bye. So that's what we were able to take from the meditation with the sound. So one half, the sound jukes us up, makes us celebratory, makes us want to go flipping over buildings and burning down cars. The other side of sound makes us want to be really chill, relaxed, and knock it off the ground, and just have a little bit bigger of a smile on our face and appreciation for where we are, who we are, and what we have around us. So and on that, thank you guys
Thank you.
for your final words and allowing me the chance to share these experiences with you here in beautiful Chepachet, Rhode Island at the Episcopal Conference Center. So, Soundscapers drumming, I'm Josh Fonseca, the other half of this chaotic, Bliss Trip is Joe Hayes. He was with me these last couple days. He was definitely here in spirit. Find us on Facebook, Soundscapers Drumming. If you want to get more into music and drumming, newenglanddrummers.ning.com. That's it. So, see you next time.
Cool.
Yes.
All right.
All right, so I'm the Reverend Meaghan Kelly,
Director
of the Episcopal Camp and Conference Center, and this is my friend.
My name's Erika McCormick. Meaghan had asked me to come and help put a program together for a teen camp during what they call pavilion time. It's a 2-hour program. And I was told I could do anything I wanted, but it needed to be fun. And the very first person that came to my mind was Josh Fonseca, because I saw Josh do a program much like he brought here today. Last year at Bryant University at a conference I was also volunteering at for Mad Rhode Island. So I asked Josh if he could come, and he said yes, which was great. And I'll tell a little bit about that program. Again, it was a 2-hour program in the morning from 9:30 to 11:30, and when Josh came on Monday, it was the very first day of camp for the whole summer. So it was the very first day of the campers also, and very first day for the counselors to be working together. So Josh started off with a drum circle, which immediately created a sense of community where you could focus all of your nervous energy because you're with people you don't really know, you're working with people, other counselors you don't really know, and you're just focused on a drum, and you're focused on the beat, and you're focused on making a lot of noise and kind of loosening up and getting a little crazy with the louder the drumming got, more screaming that went on, and next thing you know there's more drumming and more screaming and chanting, and now people are dancing around the drums, and people are just loosening up and getting to know each other. And it was an hour of very loud energy, and it just ended with, I would say, the kids wanting more. And the second part of the 2-hour program was we went over to a building called the Tower of Silence, and it's in the woods, it's dark, it's amongst pines, it's next to a frog pond, very serene, calming environment. And we went into this building, and Josh created this experience called a sound bath, which I had only heard of the first time at the conference last year, and it was an abbreviated experience that I had with Josh last year. But this year, although still an abbreviated experience because it was only maybe 45, 50 minutes as opposed to his normal 90-minute sound bath, it was still quite and powerful. And I would say we took this group of campers and counselors that are trying to get to know each other. Josh made them all fun and crazy and revved up energy, and took them into the Tower of Silence, and he melted us, and we all just relaxed and allowed ourselves to put our guard down and just breathe, take in the sound, become calm, and everybody had a different experience, but we all had an experience, and we all did it together, which is very empowering for these campers who don't know each other, and some do. Some know each other more than others, but it's always awkward. They're teens. It's awkward to be a teenager. And by the time Josh was done with us, we were all just very relaxed, and I would say that the one word that was repetitive and people were mirroring their experiences was people felt blessed. Blessed to be here, blessed to be with each other, blessed to have had the experience. And I think it set the tone for the rest of this week. You'll have to tell us how it goes.
I think it set the tone for the rest of the summer. One of the things that we try to do here is let people know that you can be a spiritual person and a person who loves God and a person who loves church, and that doesn't mean that you can't also be someone who has fun and who dances and who sings and who makes jokes and has a good time and acts silly. And so we're always trying to kind of meld those two things, like having fun and loving God are not mutually exclusive. And so it was just the perfect program to start off the entire summer because it's innately spiritual to be playing the drum and to be making music and sound together and like lifting our voices to God and dancing around in a circle. But it was also incredibly fun and got everyone's energy way up there. And then to move from that to the sound bath gave everybody this opportunity to just kind of take a breath for a minute and realize what we have in this place and how grateful we are for this place. And to hear some of the 12-year-old boys reflect on their experience. I mean, 12-year-old boys have a bad reputation in general, but they said some pretty significant things when they were finished, that they just were so grateful for what they had and so, happy to be here in this place and to have an opportunity to share who they were. And then selfishly, I got super lucky because I messed up my leg on Monday dancing. My little calf here, which just popped while I was doing a dance move and have been kind of limping around. So during the sound bath, I got some special attention on that part of my leg, and the didgeridoo was playing, and I could just feel this really intense vibration, and I am convinced it is feeling much, much better now. And so, but even just when I was there, it was such a great feeling to feel the vibration. I mean, I was just like absolutely convinced that some healing was taking place. So huge unanticipated bonus of having this program. So it's been great. I think it's perfect for this age group and for this camp.
So ladies, would you say the kids really benefited from the drum circle, getting amped up and letting loose and being able to be themselves in front of others and not be nervous about how they looked?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
They
were totally into
like
it.
I said, once you could focus your energy on a beat and a drum and something to hit on, you do that for a little bit, and then you see people just start to move, and then they're like, making little whoop whoop noises, and then all of a sudden, it's like one person makes a noise, and then another person starts making the noise, and then someone just jumps up and has to start dancing because they can't stand it sitting anymore, and then more people get up and dance, and then everybody's dancing and whooping and drumming and running around, shaking bells, and
It's pretty contagious.
it is.
So would you say any of them were concerned or caught up with their initial differences?
There was no difference. It was
No
all
difference.
about keeping the beat of the drum. And
So you mean to tell me you're actually saying that the drum unified everybody?
I think the drum unified everyone. It does.
Get
It's
out of here.
universal. It's universal.
It's universal.
I think it unified the entire camp
Yeah, it was
because the entire camp was involved in it.
So what did the drumming do to you two ladies? How did it affect you?
Personally, I was
Seeing that you
jealous.
were on the administrative side of this experience and not a...
For me,
Camp.
I was just so, I actually think, and I had planned to sit through this session no matter what, but I was reflecting this morning on why I got this leg injury and what grace I can find in it, and I was like, okay, I guess it just means that I can't run around all the time, and I have to be fully present where I am. And in that moment in the drum circle, I was so grateful that I couldn't get up and run and answer the phone or send an email or touch base with someone else, because I was so, exhilarated to be at this place and with these kids and sharing this moment and listening to their laughter and watching them dance and hitting the drum myself, and I had a heck of a good time doing that.
Right. And it felt good, didn't it?
Yelling, it was like a perfect, I just felt so tremendously grateful the whole morning. So it certainly created a sacred
Nice.
space for me.
I know because I was videotaping you. I really wanted to grab someone's drum or grab a mallet and go, let me have that. I have to join in.
Yeah.
So next time I'll have to join in and not videotape. 'Cause
Exactly.
it's like Meaghan said, it is contagious. I really wanted to get involved, but I was
Yeah, it was great.
taking pictures and videos,
Yep.
which you'll have to look at.
Absolutely. And then with the sound bath, we know that with your leg, definitely helped you, and you don't have the limp.
Yep, I'm getting there.
And then we know that you didn't want the gong and the didge to stop.
I did not.
You
I
know?
remember when you had the didgeridoo, it felt like it was right here in me, and it just felt so good. I'm thinking that I wanted it to stay there forever, and then, of course, you had to share it with other people, and I felt a longing for it as it went away. I know at one point in time during the sound bath, I was so comfortable that I actually couldn't feel my hands and feet. And I knew intellectually that they were there, and I thought, well, if I just twitch my foot or twitch my hand, I'll know it's there, but I didn't even want to do that. I just wanted to not move at all. And I felt like the whole thing took 3 minutes. But it didn't. We were there for like 50. So I was lost in time. And luckily it was at the very end of my seat, and there was something to lean against, because next thing I knew I was totally leaning against it.
Yep.
So it was a good thing I was against something I could lean on, because I was just totally tilting over.
I just think it was so important for all of us because we're doing so much activity this week. Everything is like crazy. You know, we're playing this game and we're doing this thing and we're, you know, we're running around and it's busy and it's wonderful. But just to have the chance to like take a deep breath and take it all in is perfect.
Yep. And probably the best thing with the sound meditation is having the chance to not only go through it individually, but in a group setting. And to know that you went through something with others and you weren't alone. So, if you need somebody else to understand what you went through, you have how many other people that went through it with you at the same time.
Yeah, you could share that.
And what the kids were probably able to take from it the best was realizing that they were in an environment where they could actually speak for themselves and share and not be made to feel ridiculed or insecure about it.
I thought it was interesting that after the talking stick went around that a couple of them asked for it again when they passed the first time, you know, that they felt encouraged to share what they thought.
That's true. The talking stick, they passed it not wanting to share, but towards the end they said, oh no, I do want to share. And the more people shared, the more other people wanted to share.
That's all it takes.
It was great.
So, ladies, would you say mission accomplished?
Mission accomplished.
Will you come back?
Thank you.
And thank you for having me.
Yes.
And so this was a success, ladies and gentlemen, and I think the fine folks and kids here at the Episcopal Conference Center in Chepachet, Rhode Island on July 3rd, 2012 are definitely going to take this with them, and I think I was able to barely keep them awake the first half and barely able to keep them awake the first half and barely able to get them to sleep the second half.
There you go.
And so we had a good time. It was a pleasure coming in here and honor sharing these types of services and talents. So once again, Soundscapers drumming, minus Joseph Hayes, the other half of this crazy ride, who wasn't with us these last 2 days.
We missed him.
And but he was with us in spirit, and that's it. So Josh Fonseca and friends, signing off, and we will see you next time.
Thanks.
All right, ladies, give us a nice wave.
Namaste.
Bye.
Yes.